Right, we're going to do a little side lying sequence now and possibly some extension to work on this section today. So you'll need a probably bigger cushion or a few cushions just to pop under your head. If you have an overboard to pop between the knees, that's perfect. Otherwise, maybe a small cushion if you have it. So we're just coming to side lying. Make sure you've got enough support under your neck and your head to keep your neck aligned in neutral and plenty of cushions behind you to support your head as you roll. Otherwise, shoulder over shoulder, hip over hip. If you have your ball or small cushion, you can pop that between the knees. Otherwise, just keep the legs stacked. So the shins will be pretty well parallel, probably with the edge of your mat. Make sure we're not just sinking to the floor or squashing that underneath shoulder. So you're keeping that length and support through your centre. There might be some daylight or a bit of space underneath your waist there. So the arms will be stacked, or the top hand or arm might be in just a little bit more than the other one. So you can either stick with the arm opening, or we're going to optionally add a leg extension. We're going to inhale, let that arm glide up, release the shoulder if you need to. Keep the angle the same, and then exhale, the ribs will begin to spiral back. My low back and hips stay stacked. Breath there. And as you breathe out, ribs will return and the arm will come back to close. So stay with that if you need to. The other option is that you're going to extend that top leg. So you inhale, let the arm glide up, and you maybe extend the top leg, but you're keeping the thighs stacked and not disturbing the pelvis or the hips at all. And then as you breathe out, you can glide back again. Breath there, and then return. I'm going to do 3 more with you, but you could do up to about 8. So you inhale, arm and maybe leg, and let that upper back spiral open, but try not to flare the ribs or go into an extension of the spine here. Keep that shoulder soft away from your ears. So inhale, arm and leg, maybe, and then exhale, ribs. Breath there to come back again. It's going to be my last one this side. So inhale, open up. Exhale, rotate. Breath. And then gliding back again from there. You can always just do reach and forward, reach and roll forward and back a few times once you've finished. Okay, and then from there, you won't need the overball. If you need to keep the cushion arrangement that you've got for your side leg, we're going to do some variations at oyster, you can. Otherwise, you can extend the underneath arm and have the small cushion on your arm for your head. Ideally, arm and palm upwards of the underneath arm if you need to. You might need more than one cushion to be comfortable, to be gripping in the neck at all. So the legs are still stacked, but you're going to just take the feet back so they're in line with your bottom. Keep that waist long and lifted, and the top hand and arm can either be in front of you here. Try to avoid that shoulder creeping up, or you could have the hand on your hip to encourage that length through the waist, so the hips are stacked throughout. So oyster 1, as you breathe out and center, you're going to open that top leg without letting the pelvis roll back, and inhale to close. Oyster 2, as you come into that floating oyster, that diamond shape, and then you inhale to lower. Oyster 3, as you come up to that diamond shape, you keep that top thigh really still as you extend the leg, so it stays in turn out, and then you inhale to come back. So you can do up to 8 of either variation. I'm going to just show you a couple more of that oyster 2. It's harder to keep the pelvis steady, so that's what I want you to focus on primarily. Okay, and then once you've done your oyster, quick rub, and you can bring the legs back into your chair shape, and I'm going to just go through a couple of forward and back and a couple of the slow motion bicycle with you as well. So still keeping everything stacked, hand in front or hand on your hip. So we lengthen that top leg away in line with the hip, flexing the foot. So breath and center, you can kick forward, keep that tailbone lengthened. Inhale, soft point, exhale back without letting the back arch. And then you inhale, flex, exhale, kick, inhale, point, and exhale, back. So that's just your forward and back, which you can do some more of those if you wanted to. When you get to the back part of your forward and back, just have the hand on your thigh, and you could inhale, slowly bend that knee, but try to keep the thigh really still and the hip stacked. Exhale, swing that bent leg forward so it mirrors the underneath leg. Inhale, extend. So exhale, we're going to sweep back, keep the thigh still as you slowly bend, swing that bent leg forward and extend. So I'm going to just do one more of these. So you could do maybe at least 5 of each. And at the end, when you sweep back, you might want to stay in that quad stretch. Just keep the leg parallel, so try not to turn it in or turn it out. So just a few breaths into there. You may want to grab hold of your foot, but just careful you don't overly extend your lumbar spine. And then when you're ready, just return and give your bottom a rub. And then I'll show you the other side as well. So you're on a top and tail, or just roll over onto the other side. So you'll need your big cushions and possibly your overball or a small cushion to put between the knees as well. So I'm going to keep everything stacked up. So your chair position, waist long and lifted. Try not to squash that underneath shoulder or let the waist sink down towards the floor. So everything is stacked and lifted as you can with plenty of cushions behind you. So either you work on your arm opening on its own, that you inhale, float the arm up, look towards your hand, exhale to rotate back, breath there, ribs bring you back and arm comes to close. Or you could let the leg extend as the arm opens and you're just keeping the thighs stacked, the pelvis is square, so you're not letting the pelvis tilt or the waist shorten, and then exhale to rotate. Breath there, ribs bring you back and arm comes to close. So I'm going to just do 5 with you. You could do up to about 8 of which version you'd like to work on. So you inhale, open, keep that length through the waist and the spine, exhale, rotate, breath, and gliding back again. And once you've done the same number on each side, you can come back to your chair position and just reach and roll forward and back a couple of times. And then we're going to move on to the oyster. So you probably won't need your ball or your cushion, so you can ditch that. Either leave the cushions that you have or extend the underneath arm, ideally palm up if that's all right for your shoulder, and then pop a cushion on your arm to support your neck and your head, or you may need more than one cushion. So just legs are stacked, but take your feet back so they're in line with your bottom, and you either keep the hand lightly in front of you, but try to avoid that shoulder creeping up, or hand on your hip. So you're keeping the hips stacked and that waist long, might be some daylight under there. Just keep that little scoop going. So you're going to work on oyster. I'll show you 3 variations. I'll do about 5 with you, but you could probably do a few more, maybe up to 8 or so. So oyster 1 is you exhale, center, open that top leg without rolling the pelvis back, and then inhale to close. Exhale 2, as you breathe, oyster 2 rather, as you breathe out center, you open into that floating oyster, and then inhale to lower, and then breath and center for oyster 3, you open up, keep that thigh still, and you extend the leg in turn out, and then you inhale to come back and lower. Let's do a couple more with you. So floating up as you exhale, and then extending, inhale to come back down. So as I mentioned, you could do about 8 of those, and then once you finish, you could just release and have a quick rub. And then we're going to bring the legs back into your chair position, and I'm going to go through just forward and back in a slow motion bicycle. I'm going to just do 2 or 3 of each, but you could probably do up to around 5 or so of each if you wanted to. So either hand in front or hand on your hip. I'm going to use the hand on my hip today. So I'm going to lengthen that top leg away in line with the hip, flex the foot. So breath and center, you can kick that leg forward. Inhale, soft point, exhale, sweeping that leg back. So just start with your forward and back, making sure you're not tilting the pelvis or the tailbone as the leg swings forward, or arching the leg as it goes back. And then the next time you get to your back of the forward and back, you can place your hand on your thigh and inhale. I'm slowly bending the knee, but try not to swing the leg forward. Exhale, I'm going to bring that bent leg forward so it mirrors the underneath leg. Inhale to slowly extend. So exhale, sweep back. Inhale, bend, but keep that thigh as open as possible and comfortable for your knee. Swing that bent leg forward and extend. So as I mentioned, you could do about 5 of each of the forward and back or the bicycle. I'm going to finish off with this one here. You can bend and either pause in your quad stretch, so keep that leg parallel, try to avoid turning in, turning out. You might want to grab hold of your foot, but please don't do that at the expense of extending your lumbar spine. So even just to take a few breaths there, and then just release and return from here. You may want to do a brief grip for a former stretch once you finish, and possibly you may need extra head support to help you keep neutral. So you could just knee fold, turn out, either leave it as that or draw the leg up towards you. So just 2 or 3 breaths into there, just to lengthen out your glute and piriformis after that side leg work. And then untangle, make sure you're back into neutral, knee fold, turn out, and then the other side. you evened up, untangle and lower. And you're going to just come onto your tummy and do dart to finish off today. So you may need a cushion under your tummy or a cushion under your forehead to support your lumbar spine if you need to. Lengthen yourself as long as you can. I'm going to just keep the legs parallel for today. I'm going to curl the forehead in, so my forehead is on the mat, arms are down by my side, palms up. So breath and center, nudge a marble with your nose as you begin to uncurl the neck and the head. Hover up the upper back and let the arms and palms turn in. Breath there, and you can lengthen and release back down. So I always say, just think more about the length out through the crown of your head and your spine than how high or not you may be lifting. So for here, we're trying to focus more on that upper back, not your lower back. So make sure you've got enough support in your tummy. Sometimes some of you might find it helps if you tilt the pubic bone forward towards the mat just a little bit to give you that bit more length and support in the lumbar spine. I'm going to just do one more here with you, but you could definitely do a few more if you've got time. And then once you've released back down, you're going to sit back into rest position, or you could come onto your back and hug the knees into the chest. So I'm going to just crawl my knees forward, have the knees quite wide, feet together, put a cushion under your knees if you need to, or under your head, and just reversing back, releasing the upper body forward. Use whatever cushions you need to support you, and take a few wide breaths there. And if you wanted to, you could just stay, release down, but maybe just crawl your left hand over to your right and take a breath or two into that open side. And then walk back, your right hand come over to your left. Take a breath or two into that open side. And then finish back in the midline for your final couple of breaths of class together. And then when you're ready, get some support in your centre to begin to uncurl, and you could come up to seated from there. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope that's been helpful for you. Thank you. Take care.